What's good, guys? We back at it again with another video. On the way back to Georgia right now from Graham. I'm just visiting my grandma for a couple days, but no days off. So we in the car with it today. Today I want to talk about aspect of not just basketball, but just all sports that a lot of people don't really understand, and it's hard to explain it if you haven't been through it, and that's like the mental aspect of it. And actually how important that is in terms of performing and just everyday life. So for a lot of kids, ever since you grow up and you start playing sports, that becomes your identity. So let's just say someone comes up to you, oh, what do you do? Da 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 da. I'm a basketball player. I'm a soccer player, baseball player, play hockey. I do this, and that. And from that point in time, you begin to wrap your self-esteem around how you play. So let's just say you have a good game. Next day you feel like you're on top of the world. Can't nobody tell you anything. Of course, you're going to have a bad game. So the day you do have a bad game, all of a sudden you feel like the world's going to end. You feel like, why am I even playing this sport? Like you really should quit. And, that definitely hits home for me, because I'm going to say later on in the video, and I'm going to show a little clip, but in college, my mental health problems, it kind of got exposed in a public platform, in an actual game. But I'm going to focus, mostly on college athletes, high school athletes, middle school, you can feel it, but, there's an extra magnifying glass in college, because you got to look at it like this. In your arena, stadium, you're playing in front of thousands of people, right? So you don't want to embarrass yourself. You want to make a good impression in front of them. You have thousands on TV watching you, family back home. You got to make them proud, right? So that's pressure. Then, in college, you got your coaches on you, and rightfully so. They're going to push you, right? So you're thinking about, oh yeah, if I don't do this right, if I don't do this, I'm coming out this game. And you have that pressure even as a starter, because I had that pressure as a starter. Not to mention, it's even more if you don't play, because once you get in, oh, if I make this one mistake, coach's gonna take me out, And then you got to think about, you got your teammate. This might be your teammate, but at the same time, he wants your minutes. He wants to play. You both want to play, so you got to think about that. Then you got your family back home. You got an AAU coach. You got an old high school coach calling you, texting you before, after the game about what you should have done, what they need you to do this game, And all of that, it weighs down on a player. It's hard to just focus on the game when you have everyone coming at you from all angles, telling you what you need to do and how you need to be performing. Not to mention, like I said, your self-esteem is tied up in it. So if you have a bad game and all of a sudden coach yelling at you, then he takes some of your minutes. Then you got your parents on you. You got your coaches from high school on you. You got everybody just on you. It's hard to man, just talking about it, it's hard to get through that, So for me personally, my personal experience, like I said, it came out on a public platform in the middle of a game. So it was free throws. So through high school, I was about a 50 to 55% free throw shooter. Now, that's not really good, but it's serviceable, So I get to college and they work with me on it. All of a sudden, I'm shooting 70% from the line my freshman year. After that, I broke my leg. I had to get surgery. I got a rod put in my tibia. And I came back. And, in my head, I'm still shooting free throws, of course, in the offseason, because I can't jump. So I'm still trying to do form shooting, make sure I'm still clicking, make sure my form is still decent. But I don't know what happened. I start that sophomore year. I start that season 0 for 7 from the free throw line. 0 for 7. And I was confused, because I'm like, I'm just shot 70 last year and I'm shooting the same way, right? And then all of a sudden I'm hearing my coaches, or let's just say I see a tweet on Twitter talking about this and that. So now that's in my head. So then I end up trying to change my routine, and that's probably the worst thing I could have ever did, because that just made it even worse, like 10 times worse. It made it 10 times worse. So now when I get in the game, I'm literally, like I said, when I was younger, I would hide so I wouldn't drop passes. It would get to a point where I'm deliberately not trying to get fouled. And I'm gonna put the I probably haven't watched this clip since it happened my sophomore year, but I'm gonna put the clip right here of me airballing in a game, in a actual game. And I'm gonna talk you through that. So I remember I got fouled, and by that time I was already shooting in the, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was shooting in the 20s. So imagine going from 70% to the 20s, in the 20s. So I remember I get fouled, and at that time, I'm literally, every time I used to get fouled, I go to free throw line, I'm damn near having an anxiety attack, heart beating fast, mind racing. I'm like, oh, I got fouled. Now, and what I used to do, I used to think about my numbers. So, like, I started 0 for 7. From then on, I'm counting. Okay, Brian, if you missed this, you 0 for 8. You missed this, you 0 for 9, right? So I walk up to that line. I'm like, all right, I said in my head, I'm like, all right, just don't miss bad, because by that time I was missing pretty badly. Shoot it, and you'll see, you can see in the clip, it was weird. Like, that's why I'm saying the mental aspect of it. I had like a twitch when I'm shooting, because I was so nervous, had so much anxiety. When I used to try and shoot free throws, I used to twitch. So I must have just twitched that time. Airball at a home game in front of at least 1,000 people, and of course people watching at home. And after I did that, I remember I sat in the locker room, just, my teammates will tell you, I literally just sat there and I was just staring just out into space, because it almost didn't feel real. Like, that didn't just happen to me, not on that stage, not in front of that many people, not. And from that point on, with me and free throws, it don't matter. Like, there was one game I might have had 6 dunks, but I missed 2 free throws. I didn't even airball them, but I missed them. I was shut down for the rest of the day. And luckily I had a girlfriend at the time, so I'll always be grateful to her for she had to deal with me after the game, wanting to just sit in the dark, not want to do anything. And I can say that if I didn't have her there, because I wanted to be this big macho, I don't want to, we even had a psychologist on staff, sports psychologist, but I want to be a big macho, I can handle it myself. Like, I can honestly say, if she wasn't there to watch me and be there for me, I don't know what would have happened, because I even had times I had teammates call me after the games, like, yeah, bro, you okay? Like, just making sure, it's not, the game isn't, the world isn't ending, you just missed some free throws. Like, that's it. It's something little. But in my head, and for a lot of athletes' heads, when how you play is that tied into your self-esteem and how you view yourself. If you don't play well, or if you are like playing really poorly, you get depressed like fast. And that's why there are a lot of athletes that are depressed. And what I can say to you guys is, or if you've been through that, you're going through that, or, at some point, you're probably going to have a couple bad games. You're going to feel, a little depressed and down. Go talk to somebody. Like I said, we had a sports psychologist on staff, but me wanting to be big macho man, I'm the starter. Oh, I don't need that. I don't need to talk to anybody. But I definitely, if you don't hear anything else I say, go talk to somebody. That mental aspect of the game is almost the biggest thing. Like they say, it's 80% mental, 20% physical. So if your mental isn't there, if you don't have the ability to blank out all the noise, like I said, you have all these people coming at you from all different angles, all these different pressures. If you don't have that, that mental strength to keep the main thing, it's hard to play your game how you want to play it. So, like I said, that the mental aspect is the most important thing. Is the most important thing. You need to get that in order first, before you can even focus on the basketball aspect of it, or like I said, the baseball aspect of it. Any sport you have. Like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'll be back at it on Monday with a new video. Thanks for watching.